Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with y'all the baby registry checklist or baby registry must-haves. Now this is mainly for first-time moms because if you're a second or third-time mom, a lot of these products you might already have and so you don't need these on a registry, or you don't really need to buy all of these products again. But if you are a first-time mom, or maybe you're having a boy this time instead of a girl and you didn't know you were gonna have another baby and you sold a bunch of things or got rid of a bunch of things, and now you feel like you totally forgot all the things you should have on a registry or even have on a baby list, this video is for you. So keep watching. If you're starting from scratch and it's your first baby, you need a lot of things, but at the same time, you don't wanna overwhelm yourself and you don't wanna overwhelm your friends and family that are trying to buy things for you and looking at a list of just tons of things and they're not quite sure which ones they know you're really gonna need or things that are just on there because you want them. So before we get started, I have to shamelessly plug my channel. Definitely give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and if you are pregnant and new, I would love to get to know you. Let me know down below where you're at in your pregnancy and how it's going, and let's get started. Whew, y'all, I seriously cannot breathe today. Okay, let's get started with all the things you're gonna need clothing-wise for baby, and pretty much, you know, baby essentials that you're gonna be putting on the baby. Does that make sense? Like everything is a baby essential on this list, but what I mean is like clothing and items like that. So number one is footed sleepers. Yes, there's tons of newborn baby clothes that just look so dang cute and you're like, oh, but how cute would that be? It's so tiny. You are gonna be so exhausted from not having sleep, breastfeeding, any of those things that you're doing, constantly waking up to change diapers, to feed, all of that stuff. So you're not gonna be wanting to change your baby a million times and into these cute little outfits that have like buttons and clips and whatever else. So I always recommend in the newborn size, you want to only have zipper footed sleepers or rompers. Some people call them sleepers, some people call them rompers or onesies, you know, whatever. But they are the newborn size footed, and make sure you get zipper. You can get the snaps if you want, if you feel like it's not gonna be too much for you. But again, if you're exhausted, you do not wanna snap 12 snaps and then hope that they're all correct. So the zippers are definitely a better way to go. If you want to change it up a little bit, the other thing I recommend, and I did put this on this list because I think these are a game changer, are the kimono onesies or kimono top and then bottom footed pants. So what that means is like this, you know, it looks like a kimono, but it's got buttons. Now, obviously they don't come in a zipper. It does come in a button or a tie on the side, but the best thing about it is that it opens totally off the baby. Instead of having to put something over their head or through their arms and then have to zip it up, the easiest thing ever. It's the kimono thing, I think, is just genius, especially for newborns in 0 to 3 month. If baby's kind of squirmy, and especially when they're little, they like to be really tight. I mean, my kids are so strong as newborns. I could barely move their arms away from their body to get their arm into the clothing. So I definitely recommend the footed sleepers, and then number two, the kimono onesies or kimono top with footed bottoms. Without going through this video and telling you exactly how many to get of each, I'm just gonna do that in the description. I will put next to each name exactly how many I think you would need to get in what size. So this is a full checklist for y'all. Like, I break it down to sizes and amounts and all of that. So if you know a pregnant mama that needs this, definitely send it their way. Number two is long sleeve onesies. Now, the reason I say long sleeves and not short sleeve, even if you have your baby born in the summertime, when you're home with them, you're not really gonna be, especially in that newborn stage and even a couple weeks into this 0 to 3 month stage, you're not gonna be taking baby out. They're gonna be home with you, and if you have fans on, you have the AC on or anything like that, baby can get cold super quickly. So that's why I always recommend having a long sleeve. I'd rather them be in a long sleeve and then just not having a blanket on them, than having them with barely any clothes on and having to wrap them up like crazy. So you definitely want to make sure baby stays regulated with its temperature. And the long sleeve onesies are great because they do have the foldable hand things, so little mittens, so that way their hands are covered, so their hands are warm at the same time their little fingers are warm, and they're not scratching their face. So those are a definite must-have. Number 4 is footed pants. Now, just like I was talking about the kimono tops with the footed pants, they do make pants with the feet in them. You're gonna be changing diapers a lot, y'all. And maybe you're, you know, tired of using the zip up footed pajamas and you want to try something different, and so you go for something like this. If you do a 2-piece, which is great, whether it's joggers and just a top, I think those are super cute. I love them a lot personally as well. But if you do get the pants, the best ones to get, especially when they're that young, again, because their hands and their feet are going to be the first 2 places that are going to be cold, like super, super cold. So you want to make sure those babies are warm, and in the newborn stage, socks do not stay on their feet, ever. Like, I don't care what size you get preemie and it will still fall off their foot. It just, the elastic part, they don't make it right unless you get the socks from the hospital. The ones that they put on your baby in the hospital are the only socks that fit your baby. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't make socks like that everywhere else, but whatever. So because of that, I don't like putting a lot of socks on my kids when they're little because I always end up losing one in the blanket and then I can never find it. You can find some like on Amazon, and Carter's does have some also. I think H&M has some. Well, tons of baby boutiques have them, like Meeby Baby has it. Really cute ones, come in really, really pretty colors. But you just got to shop around and figure out which ones you want, because obviously they come in tons of different price ranges depending on, you know, what name brand they are. Now, number 5 is a knotted gown. I would not stock up on these. I would get at least one of them. This is something that's so great because if you're not really good at swaddling and doing the whole wrap, or even when I swaddle my babies, I don't always swaddle them all up and then fold it under. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. I wrap them like a burrito pretty much, but then at the bottom, I just take what's left over and I tie it into a knot. So I'm pretty much doing the same thing that I would if you were to just get a knotted gown. So knotted gowns are literally long sleeves. They all come in cute colors and patterns. Some have buttons, some are ribbed, some are just plain stretchy. It's like a jersey knit material, and then it just looks like a big old blanket, like with an opening at the bottom. So you pretty much put it over baby's head, slide them through there, put their arms in, and then when you get down to their feet, you just put it all together and then twist it and tie it in a knot and you're good to go. And that's it. And people really like those because when you have to change baby, you don't have to try to take the zipper down and then their chest is open and they're getting cold and then pull their feet out. All you have to do is unknot the bottom, pull up a little bit, do their diaper thing, close it back up, knot it back up, put baby back down. So, but those are definitely gonna come in handy for you, I promise. Now, number 6 is for their head. There are tons of really cute baby hats. I am not a fan of baby hats. The only thing I'm a fan of are beanies. And I'm talking about the Slouchy beanies. If you are gonna have a boy, like I am, I'm having a boy, literally the only hats I'm getting him are Slouchy beanies in like tons of different colors. For one, I think they look way cuter. Number 2, they're gonna last a lot longer because they're slouchy and they're stretchy. They're gonna last as he gets older and older. I'll still be able to use the smaller size one because it'll stretch out. It's a longer size, so if their head gets that much bigger, obviously it's gonna fit on them. You can get them for way cheaper than tons of other ones, baby hats, and lots more colors. So I definitely recommend that. Now, if you're having a girl, again, I don't recommend getting a hat. I would recommend getting a turban for them. So it's pretty much the same thing as getting a stretchy, slouchy beanie, except for it's not slouchy and they have super cute bows or knots on them, and you can, again, get them in any color or print that you want. So if you're having a girl, get them turbans to put on their head. It will cover their whole head. It covers their ears. It's perfect, just like a hat. And if you're having a boy, get slouchy beanies. Now, if you like the knitted versions of beanies, I love those too. I would get those as well, or maybe just get one in the color that you want as their, for newborn, you know, whether it's for pictures and then maybe they can wear it a little bit longer, or maybe it's for fall and winter and you love that look, you know, then yes, of course, those are super cute. I love the knitted ones as well. But if you're not going for that look, or if you haven't found anything else yet and you know that you need quite a few hats, because baby is going to lose all their heat through their head. That is why they always put hats on baby immediately when you have the baby. They want to make sure they regulate their temperature, they stay warm, they don't get too cold. So you have to have hats, and if you're going to have them, they might as well be cute and functional and last longer and come in tons of colors. So to me, that's my choices for those. I think those are must-haves. Now, when we go to blankets, number 7 is the muslin swaddle. And some people don't like having a ton of these, and some people buy like 15 of them. And I think that's just people's preferences, but you do need to have a muslin swaddle. These things are awesome. They're huge, so you can fold them up, you can swaddle baby really well, or you can throw them over your shoulder. If you're gonna burp the baby, you don't have to worry about it. You know, if he spews it this way, the muslin swaddle goes all the way down your back, so you won't have to worry about anything. I am not a fan of burp cloths, so not only that, they are way more absorbent. The material is super soft, and you can use it as a cover up when you breastfeed. So instead of putting this huge thing over you when you're breastfeeding and making you and baby hot like a cocoon in there, you can again throw this thing over your shoulder while you're breastfeeding baby, so there's still some airflow, but things are covered because that thing is very big, but it's definitely has good airflow that goes through it. It's not, you know, super thick material. So those are a must-have. Whether or not you want like 10 of them or just 1 of them or 2 of them, I prefer to have lots of them because you're gonna use them quite a bit. So that's one thing I kind of regret. I don't think I said that in my last video, my regrets video, but for my daughter, I think I only got like 2 of them, and I wish I would have had like 5 or 6 of them, because that's the one I use like the most with her. So definitely recommend getting a lot of those if that's what you want. If not, at least get like 2 or 3. Okay, number 8 is a nested bean swaddle and sleep sack. Now you can get this as a duo, which is what I did with my daughter. I got the duo that came with the, you know, newborn to like 6 month, I think, swaddle. And then it also came with a sleep sack for whenever she transitioned out of the swaddle. And the reason that I love this company is because they have a little, it's like a bean bag almost on the chest area. Now, if you use the sleep sack, you can do it the opposite direction if you want. Like if baby sleeps on their tummy and you want that pressure to be on their back, then you can flip it around. It's no big deal. It goes both ways. But those are really great because my daughter was having the hardest time sleeping longer than like an hour and a half, 2 hours at a time. Like I did not get any sleep at all. And I started using that thing. I thought, you know what, what the heck, I might as well just try it. And the first night that I put that thing on her, she slept for like 6 hours, and I could not believe it. And then ever since then, I've told all my friends that have had kids and babies, I'm like, you have to try this swaddle. And for one, it's already a packaged swaddle. So if you don't know how to swaddle, super easy. You just slip baby in there, you put the fold thing over, you fold both sides, bam, bam, done. But again, it has the little, it looks like a little round chick on there. It's so cute, little baby chick. And that part is weighted. Now it's not weighted so much that it could, you know, make baby stop breathing if they're newborn or 1 or 2 month old. But it's just enough, and what it does is it makes baby think that your hand is on them or next to them, or maybe that your hand's on their back if you're using the sleep sack, and just comforts them, you know, and makes them calm down. And I swear to y'all, that thing works. Like I literally had my daughter in that sleep sack until she could not fit in it anymore. So if you're looking for something like sleep sacks or swaddles, then definitely buy from Nested Bean. Now going back to blankets, what is this? Number 9 is definitely a baby blanket or quilt. This to me, I feel like is a given. You know, maybe you have somebody, I have somebody in my family who makes quilts. So for all of my kids, she has made a baby blanket for my kids. So I really didn't need to go buy one. But if you don't have somebody that does that for you, then I would definitely find that one quilt or blanket that you know is going to be either the centerpiece in their room, you know, that like brings the decor together, or that one heirloom piece that they're going to keep forever, that's like their baby blanket. Do you know what I mean? Like, you have to have one of those, you know? And like I said, it may be made by a family member, which is super sweet. And I mean, I love that. I love that my kids, I have things made from my grandmother, and now my kids have things made from their aunt. And my son has a couple things from grandmother as well. So I think that's awesome. But if you don't have somebody that's making things like that for you, it's totally fine. But definitely go do your research, find the perfect one for your baby and put it on your registry and let everybody know, this is the baby blanket I want for baby. I want this to be their little heirloom piece that they keep forever. So you definitely need to find one of those. Okay, number 10, we're getting into baby carriers. I am a huge advocate for baby wearing. So the Soli wrap or Wildbird or the Moby wrap, I think is what it's called. The Soli and the Moby, I don't know where they got these names at, y'all, but both of those are just like a long piece of material, stretchy material. And it is kind of hard when you first get it. You're like, wait, how do I put this on? And how do I know it's safe? If you watch, they have clips on YouTube, super easy clips that you can watch. And it's actually pretty easy. It's not that hard. But once you watch the clip, you'll know how to put it on. And to me, that one was the best. My babies loved that because they felt way more secure. They're super tight to your body and so up close to your skin. They always ended up falling asleep, and I just felt more secure with them being that secure on my body. So if I was leaning over or cleaning the house or doing something around the house and I needed to wear them, I didn't feel like they were just hanging all over the place. Like, they really feel secure to your body. Now, Wildbird is a ring sling. It's not a full wrap, but it is also still secure to your body. So it's kind of going to depend on what you prefer. If you don't know what you want, I would at least put one of each on your registry and just either see what you get and try it out. And then if you don't like it, you can always try out a different one. Now, number 11 is a baby carrier. And a baby carrier, I mean, is the traditional kind that you can wear, you know, forward facing, backward facing, you know, daddy can wear it, mommy can wear it. It's not the super tight, close to your body. You know, their feet are hanging out, their legs are hanging out, their arms are hanging out, their head is just chilling, they're able to look around. That kind of baby carrier. There are so many different brands that carry that, and again, it's just gonna be something that you're gonna have to try out. I have the Baby Bjorn one, and I really like that one because it's really compact. It's not super bulky, which is what I really loved about it. And I used all of them. So I can't say I liked one or the other. So I like all my baby carriers. I use them all for different stages of baby and depending on what we were doing. So I definitely recommend having one of each if you can. If you can't, I would definitely start out with like the Soli wrap that's keeping baby close to you. And then when they get to like 3 to 6, almost 6 months old, then you may need a baby carrier if you know that you're going to be out and about and baby doesn't like to be in the stroller, or you don't want them in the stroller, or you don't want them in a grocery cart. Then you can use the carrier. Number 12 is a diaper bag, and I don't mean a regular diaper bag, I mean a diaper backpack. So you are gonna want a diaper backpack. No matter what, the diaper backpack is always the way to go. The best thing about it now though is that they're so popular that people make them with the convertible straps. So not only do you have it as a diaper backpack, but then they also have the extra strap if you want to put that on to put it over your shoulder. They also sometimes come with the straps that you can hook onto it to hook onto the stroller, which is really nice. That is definitely a game changer because trying to shove a big old diaper bag underneath the stroller is not very fun. So that definitely helps out. But if you are looking for a diaper bag, please make sure you get the backpack with the convertible strap, just in case you don't want to wear it as a backpack, but I promise you, you are. You're going to want to wear it as a backpack all the time. All right, number 13 and number 14 are muslin washcloths and muslin towels. And the reason for this is I do not like the normal baby hooded towels. For one, they're way too small. They barely ever cover baby unless they're newborns. But after that phase, it's like their legs are hanging out and they're cold. It's just not good, y'all. It's not good. I don't like the material. I think they're expensive for what they are. I recommend getting the muslin towels. For one, they're way more absorbent, and way more soft and way fluffier. Like, all of those things is already so much nicer than the other towels. Now, the only thing is it's kind of hard to find these muslin towels in a hooded version unless you want to spend a little bit more money. But you can find just the regular towels, and they're way bigger sized for baby on Amazon. I seriously love them. Now, going with towels, you're gonna need washcloths. And again, I would use the same type of material, the muslin washcloths. I just think they're softer on baby's skin. They do the same thing as any other washcloth does, or even a burp cloth. You could use both of them as burp cloths. They are a lot bigger than a burp cloth and a lot bigger than a regular hooded towel. So I just think you're getting more for your buck. So those two things are definitely a must. Now, number 15, sticking with bath stuff. I do not recommend getting a baby bathtub, but I do recommend getting the blooming bath. I think that's what it's called. I always say it like that, but I'm not sure if that's the exact name. It literally looks like a flower, and it's super squishy and soft, and you stick it in the sink and baby just kind of rests right in the middle. Way more comfy for baby. You're in the sink, so you're standing up. You're not having to lean over with your back hurting, or having to get into the bathtub with them, or having to get water everywhere. Baby's already in the sink, super comfy. That is what I would use. And you're probably gonna use that for a little while. And then by the time that they're like growing out of it, they could probably just sit in the sink by themselves. You know what I mean? The blooming bath was definitely something that I totally recommend for you if you're gonna get a baby bath. I wouldn't even put one on your registry or even buy a real baby bath until they get older and you decide whether or not you want one. All right, number 16 and number 17 is baby shampoo and body wash and baby lotion. You are only gonna need 1 bottle of baby shampoo and body wash and 1 bottle of baby lotion. That is gonna last you a whole year. And mainly because in the beginning, you're not gonna be giving baby baths very often, and you're not gonna be putting lotion on your baby for a while. And you will understand more about that once you have baby. They will let you know about this either in the hospital, and your pediatrician will let you know what they think is best for baby. I totally recommend Hello Bello products. I think Hello Bello is like top notch, the best products I've used, whether it's lotion, diaper rash cream, shampoo, body wash. I mean, I love their stuff. So if you're gonna get some, I would put that on there. Definitely recommend Hello Bello on there. But I really would just go get it myself and not put it on my registry, hoping that since people don't see it on there, they won't order that. They'll order something different for me and not try to clutter up my baby shower with, you know, shampoo and lotion. So if you are gonna put it on your registry, only put 1 of each. But again, I recommend just buying it yourself. Number 18 is for Cradle Cap. If you don't know what this is, or like if you get a sunburn and the skin starts peeling off, that's kind of what it looks like on their scalp. And the one thing that you can do, and my doctor would always say, is like, well, when you shampoo their head, use your fingernails and, you know, obviously do it gently, but scrub on their scalp. And then once they get out, make sure that their hair dries super fast and that their scalp dries really fast, because that's how it grows and spreads on their scalp. But they do have Cradle Cap brushes that you can order and that you can use. And all it is are these really fine little bristles that are super soft. They're almost like jelly. And that's what you use to like rub around their head. And it helps pull up any extra that's about to come off the scalp, which is what you want. And then it also starts to lift up the rest of it. So then as you know, as days go by, it starts coming off on its own. I swear those things really help out. So if you are worried about Cradle Cap, I would just put one on the registry now and have that. They're always great to have. Even if you don't use it for that and you just use it to wash their hair. I used the ones that we have to wash my baby's hair all the time just because it was easier to lather up the shampoo on their head that way and make sure that I was really getting their whole head. So I definitely recommend one of those. Number 19 and number 20 are wipes. The first one is going to be the Hello Bello wipes, which again, y'all know I love Hello Bello, so I just recommend their wipes over anything. I have also used Pampers Sensitive wipes, which I like those as well. It just depends on your baby. And then, I mean, obviously you're gonna need wipes on your registry, guys. Come on, like you need diapers and wipes, duh. It's just finding the right ones. The only brand I do not like anything of theirs is Huggies. Like, I don't like their diapers. My kids have always either had a rash because of their diapers. Same thing with their wipes. My kids have always like had a rash because of their wipes. I feel like their diapers are super hard and rough, and so are their wipes. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I'm not a fan of Huggies. So any other thing I think you should try out other than Huggies. I feel bad for saying that, but it's true. I don't like Huggies. I've used, like I said, the Pampers is definitely probably one of the #1 choices, mainly because the hospital uses Pampers, diapers, and wipes. So most people know about them. But I do think that their products are really good. But again, I love Hello Bello just because it's all plant-based. So you don't have to worry about putting chlorines or crap on your baby right when they come out of the womb. And just starting off with products that you know are not gonna hurt their skin, so you don't have to worry about, oh, well, do they have an allergic reaction to something, or is it gonna be okay? Are we gonna have to try different products? I don't know. That's just kind of how I look at it. But so I definitely recommend the Hello Bello butt wipes. And then you're gonna wanna get some water wipes. The water wipes are great for if baby has spit up, you know, or anything, and you go to wipe their face, but you realize a dry towel is not doing it. The water wipes come in handy. You need to clean off their fingers, clean off around their face, their hair. I mean, anywhere. You need to clean yourself off. Water wipes come in really handy. Now, people have also used water wipes as their diaper changing wipes. I think that's great if you can and if you want to, but I've never done that. I don't know why. I just always felt like water wipes didn't really clean my kids that well. So I use them for something different, but it's up to you. We're talking about wipes. Y'all know we got to talk about diapers. Number 21 is diapers. I would only get 1 or 2 packages in newborn size because, again, your baby is not going to be in newborn size for very long. It's going to last like that and it's going to be over. And if you get too many packages of newborn, you're literally going to have them sitting in your closet, just sitting there until you go exchange them for a new size. But I will say that not all places will take certain diapers and certain packages, which we found out with my daughter. So just be ready for that. I really wouldn't ask for any newborn diapers because in the hospital, they're gonna give you diapers for the baby, and they're probably gonna give you extra packages of newborn diapers because the nurses are awesome and that's what they do. They love to help us out, help us mamas out. So you don't really need any newborn ones on your registry, but I would put size 1 to size 4. And you know, it's hard to say exactly what kind you're gonna need because, again, every baby's different. Some babies last in size 1 and 2 for like months. Some of them go through size 1 and 2 within a month, you know what I mean? And then they're in size 3 for like 6 months. So you just never know. So at least to start out with, I would at least ask for like 3 packs of each size. And then, like I said, hopefully they're the boxes that you can exchange once they grow out of that. If you have an extra size 1 box and you know they're already moving into a size 2, you can take it into Walmart or Target and exchange it for a different size as long as it's the same brand. Number 22 is the Haakaa, pretty sure I'm saying this right, the Haakaa manual pump. I don't know why it's called a manual pump because you're not actually pumping with it. But it is this silicone little thing that you suction onto your boob while baby is breastfeeding on the other side. And it catches all the extra milk that leaks out while baby's feeding. And that will happen every single time you breastfeed. And I think that is like a game changer, especially if you are gonna breastfeed and you wanna start building up a milk stash. I breastfeed and pump with my kids, so I'm doing both. If you do not want to pump and breastfeed, you just wanna breastfeed, this would be great for you, because this way you can build up a stash without having to pump, if you know what I mean. And it can catch quite a lot of milk. You would be surprised like how much you're actually leaking out of the other side when baby is feeding. And it is only, the reason is because your body is being stimulated and thinks, I need to produce milk for this baby. And your body doesn't really understand, you know, oh, we only go from one side to another. It probably thinks there's two babies there. So that's why it leaks. And usually you just have, you know, a breast milk pad there that's soaking it all up. But y'all, breast milk is literally liquid gold. So do not waste a drop of it into a breast pad unless you're asleep at night. That's the only time that it should be any kind of milk in a breast pad. So definitely put one of these on your registry. They're so cheap, y'all. They're like $12, $13. You can find them on Amazon. So something that just doesn't cost a lot, but is really gonna be great for you. Now, I also recommend getting a manual breast pump. That would be number 23. And what I mean by that is Medela makes one that's just like a normal hand pump. The only reason you would need this is if you were out and about and you don't want to lug around a huge thing with breast pump parts and all of that. And my husband and I would go out on date nights and it really came in handy. So when my boobs just felt like super big and sore and we were out for longer than 2 hours, then I'd sit in the car and I would just pump on each side about 15 minutes, get some milk, you know, make sure I was still on that schedule, put it in a little package, and we were good to go. If you're gonna go for like the LV pump or the Willow pump, which those are the little cup things that you stick in your bra and you can just walk around wherever you want to, then obviously you don't need a manual pump because it pretty much takes the place of that. Because if you're out, just stick it in your bra, you know, let it do its thing and pull the milk out. This is mainly for people that don't have that. If they're gonna have a regular pump from at home that you have to be plugged into the wall, or even if it's the one that is wireless but you've got to hold, you know, both the cups on your boobs and it's got the tubes and then the little motor thing, then this comes in handy, because then you don't want to carry all that stuff with you. It's a lot easier to just take this one with you. Number 24 is Nipple Balm. You are going to want that stuff. Whether you're breastfeeding, whether you're pumping, your nipples are gonna be sore no matter what, especially if you've never done this before and it's your first baby. They are, and eventually they will get rough. And I don't mean rough as in like hard. They're just gonna get used to what is going on, like what their new normal is. So eventually it won't hurt that bad, but you are gonna want something to make sure that they don't get too dry, that they don't get chapped, especially after you've breastfed or pumped, and let's say you put a pad on and then you go to sleep. If you don't put that cream on there before you put the pad on, your nipple could actually get stuck to the pad, and when you go to pull that baby off, it hurts so bad. It really hurts, y'all. So don't make that mistake. Make sure before you go to bed and before you put a breast pad on, you always put the nipple cream on first and then you stick the breast pad in there. So number 25 is gonna be breast pad or breast milk pads. Now the disposable ones are the easiest, and again, if you're doing it right and you're using the Haakaa while you're breastfeeding or pumping and you've got both boobs going at the same time, the only time you need to use one of these breast milk pads is at nighttime when you're sleeping, and obviously during the day if you're just out and about and you want to make sure it doesn't leak through your shirt by accident, then definitely that's when you're going to want to use them. And you can get a humongous package for way cheap. So, but again, this is stuff that you're gonna need. You might as well put it on your registry. Somebody may buy it for you. There may be a mama like me who's had many kids and I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna need that. And I'm the one that buys it for you. You know what I mean? So you gotta put the stuff on there. All right, number 26 is breast milk bags. You are gonna need bags to catch all the milk and put it in your freezer or your fridge. Again, even if you are not pumping, but you use that Haakaa, you're gonna have that excess milk and you're not gonna have enough bottles to just stash in the fridge. So instead, if you have the bags, It's way easier. And again, just like the breast milk pads, you can buy a huge box with tons of these bags in there for super cheap. And if you're not pumping and you're just, you know, wanting to store any excess milk, those breast milk bags will last you forever. So definitely put a box of those on there. Number 27 is a bottle drying rack. Now, you're gonna need one because after you've washed your bottles, you have to put them somewhere to dry. If you leave them somewhere where the air can't flow through them, that they're gonna get moldy and they're gonna smell yucky. It's just not a good thing. The one that looks like grass is my favorite. We've used that one for all my kids. It's super easy to clean because you literally can just throw it in the dishwasher if you used it for a long time. Okay, number 28 is Bandana Bibs. You're gonna need bibs for baby, of course, but the only ones that I would get are the bandana ones. For one, they're way cuter. They come in way better colors, and I'm not a pattern girl, but if you like patterns, they have cute patterns. But I love that they come in really, really cool colors and neutral colors, and they go with any outfit. I love the bandana bibs. They're gonna cover a lot of area. They're great for drooling. Now, if you're looking for something when they start eating solids, I definitely recommend the silicone bibs, but until that time comes, you have 6 months until that time comes. Well, sometimes 4, depending on your baby, but usually it's 6 months before you really give them solids foods. So you're not gonna need those silicone bibs for 6 months. So until then, the bibs that I would have are the bandana ones. Now, if you have a daughter and you wanna have a really pretty one, Billy Bibs is the way to go. I love their bibs. They're all beautiful. And again, they're only used for drool. They are not used for food. So don't ruin them with food by feeding your baby with them on. But you can definitely have them on, and they always have really pretty ones that can go with their outfits. Oh, just love those. Number 29 is the Snuggle Me, or Snuggle Me Organic. I seriously love this thing. I love it, and my baby has loved it. I wish I had it with my first 2, but I didn't get it until I had my daughter, and like I told y'all, she was not a good sleeper. And I have to put this out there, disclaimer, you are not supposed to put your baby in this and let them sleep through the night. It's not to help them. It's not like a bassinet for them to sleep in, even though a lot of us mamas use it that way. And we're not supposed to, you know, they tell us that. Snuggle Me will tell you that. Do not use it. It's supposed to be a lounger. It's a baby lounger. But I will be honest with y'all and let you know that we did use it quite a few times for baby to nap in and for her to sleep in between feedings. And I swear y'all, she slept the best in that thing. And I really think it's because it's called a Snuggle Me for a reason. It literally snuggles them. It makes them feel secure and safe and almost like they're back in the womb. So I recommend that. I recommend a Snuggle Me over a DockATot any day. The DockATot is a little bit more expensive than the Snuggle Me, for one. And for 2, baby doesn't feel as secure in the DockATot. The DockATot is really just like play mat with a pillow around it. You know what I mean? Like the Snuggle Me, actually, when you put baby in there, it like curves to the baby. So that's why I love Snuggle Me. I love, love, love them. So definitely look that up. Now, I just want to put out there, y'all, that you do not have to buy everything brand new. A lot of these products are only going to be used for a little bit of time, and you can find them on OfferUp or Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, you know, either brand spanking new almost or gently used for way cheaper. So if you don't get some of these on your registry, if you don't get them from other people bought for you and you have things left on your registry, definitely go on there first and check it out. You can always find really nice stuff for a fraction of the price and still in great condition. And then obviously if you can't after a while, then go and buy it brand new if you really have to. But I definitely recommend doing that way. Number 30 is a changing pad. We have to have somewhere to change baby. If you are at home, you're gonna need somewhere to change baby. I have to say though, we change our babies anywhere and everywhere, like in the bed. So if I'm already in the bed, I'm just gonna change baby in the bed. I'm not gonna get up and change baby somewhere else. If I was in the living room and I just wanted to put baby on the floor on a blanket, then that's what I do. But you will end up needing a changing pad somewhere. Like there may be times that you're walking around and you want to take baby to the changing pad in their bedroom, their nursery, whatever, because everything else is with you right there. And that's fine. But if you do, obviously you need a changing pad. You're not going to just lay baby on a hard surface. So I definitely recommend one of those. There are tons of different kinds. And again, that's more of a preference for you. Price wise and just the look of it. And if you want something that's going to have a cover on it, or if you want something that already just looks, you know, sleek and pretty as is. So it just depends on your decor taste and what you like. Number 31 is a Bumbo Seat. And I think it's either Bumpo or Bumbo. I'm not sure. But one of those, it's I don't know how to explain this, but it's just a little seat that is kind of squishy but secure enough that when baby is little and they can't hold their body up, and let's say, you know, you want to prop them up somewhere, then you can you can put them in there and it just kind of holds them up. It also teaches them how to sit up straight, so I really like that about it. Those come in really handy. So if your baby does not like to be on the floor while you're in the kitchen trying to cook and you have a big enough counter space, you could literally put this thing up on the counter and have baby sitting there watching you. I usually have my baby in the mama Roo, but I've done it both ways before, depending on what mood I was in or what mood baby was in. So I definitely think that is something that you're definitely going to want, because baby's not going to always want to be on their tummy or on their back. They get fussy. They want to be sitting up. They want to be grown-ups already. Even when they're newborns, they want to be grown-ups already. So it's really nice to have something like that. It makes them feel like they're a part of everything. So number 32 is a sound machine. Definitely the baby shusher is something that I think really works, because the number one sound that baby hears in the womb is a shushing sound. So, or that's like the closest to it. So I definitely think that would be something that would help baby the most at night. A lot of people like the white noise. None of my kids liked white noise. None of them. I don't even like white noise. So maybe that's why, I don't know. My kids love like the rain sound. So it's really good to get a sound machine that has multiple sounds on it, so you can figure out which one really helps your baby and which one they love. But then again, I have heard rave reviews about the shusher. It's literally called a shusher. The baby shusher. And all it is it just sounds like somebody going shh really loud. So that's all it is. But unless you want to sit there all night and go shh, it's a good idea to have one, okay? Definitely always have one of those on your registry. I would even recommend getting one like the baby like a regular sound machine that you would put in the room, and then get a portable one. And I know the baby shusher is more portable. It's definitely, you know, just a smaller one. But they also have compact and portable sound machines that you can get with all the sounds on them as well. Okay, number 33 is a humidifier. You are going to want a humidifier. You're going to need something. Now, obviously it depends on the person. I love the Cool Mist one and the one with the dials that you can change it, whether it needs to be a lot or a little bit. But the other great thing about humidifiers, there are a lot out there that come with night lights on them. And not only that, but like changing lights. So depending on the mood, you know, if you're trying to go to sleep, if you're trying to stay to sleep, if you need to wake up, it can change, the lights can change. So those are really cool, but I definitely recommend a humidifier, because if you're not using it right away, you're definitely going to end up using one in their room at some point. Number 34 is definitely a baby monitor. Now, what we ended up doing, we have Alexa in our house, Alexa Home, or whatever you want to call it, where, you know, she turns lights on for us and stuff like that. And we have cameras on our house and it's all hooked up to Alexa. So what we use is they actually have a camera specifically for Baby's baby monitor camera that you can put up and set up to Alexa. So that is what we use. That works for us. But then again, you may not be one of those people that likes it to be connected to Wi-Fi and all of those things, and that's totally understandable. So if you're looking for something that does not connect to your phone or Wi-Fi, just do your research. Make sure you're not just going out and buying the most expensive one. The most expensive one is not always the best one. Just FYI, we've done that before. So definitely make sure you do your research on that, but obviously you're gonna need a baby monitor. Number 35 is a nose Frida. You may have heard of this. The first time I heard of this, I thought it was the grossest thing in the world. And then my daughter got really sick when she was teeny tiny and we could not suck the boogers and the snot out of her nose. And I finally caved in and went and got one, and now I would never use anything else. It is kind of gross sounding when you're first doing it, but when you realize that the snot can't get to your mouth because there's, for one, a super long straw thingy and there's a filter on it, then it's not so bad to me. It actually is kind of satisfying in a weird way. So if you can get past that, it's definitely better than any kind of aspirator out there. Anything that you could think of that's like battery operated, because I have tried those too. I thought maybe those would be like super strong. No, it did not work at all. So the only one I would recommend is the nose Frida, especially when they're so tiny and their nostrils are just so little that you can barely get anything out of it. The nose Frida is the way to go. Number 36 is Gripe water. Yes, Gripe water and gas drops. Those two you are going to need with a newborn. No matter what, you're gonna need them. And they come safely packaged for newborns. Make sure that you read packaging, make sure you read labels, make sure you know what brand that you like. But Gripe water and gas drops are going to be a must the first like 2-3 months of their life. Number 37 is you're gonna wanna have some infant Tylenol on hand. Now, they're not gonna want you to give your newborn Tylenol right away unless absolutely necessary. But if you are home and all of a sudden your baby spikes a fever and you're freaking out and you're thinking, should I take him to the hospital? If you have some Tylenol on hand, you give them a little bit of Tylenol and see what happens. Because if you just take them straight to the hospital, what they're gonna do in the hospital is give your baby Tylenol. So they're gonna give them some Tylenol and they're gonna wait for a little bit to see if the fever goes down. And if it does, they're just gonna discharge you and say, go home. So save yourself a hospital trip, get yourself some infant Tylenol, always read the label, make sure you're giving your baby the right amount and not too much. And then wait it out a little bit, just like this says on the label. You know, every like 3 to 4 hours is when you should be giving them Tylenol. Obviously, if you give it one time and it doesn't come back, you don't need it, but that is one thing that you need to have on hand. Number 38 is Boogie Wipes. This kind of goes with the nose Frida. When their nostrils and their little noses are so tiny, it is really hard to get stuff out. And if you just see like crustiness or something on the outside and you just, either you can't get it off because it's just so hard, or you have no way of getting it because it's so tiny around that area, the Boogie Wipes, I swear y'all, I mean like one wipe and you'll be able to just whoop, get it right off. So Boogie Wipes are definitely the way to go. I really haven't tried any other brand of like Boogie Wipes, but I swear by these things, y'all. They are awesome. Now, number 39 is a car seat cover. Again, if you're gonna have a car seat, you need a cover for it. If you're gonna go out, you don't want the sun and all that in baby's eyes, but there are many car seat covers and they are not all the same. I used to have the jersey knit, you know, the stretchy one you like put over the car seat. And at first, you know, I loved it. I thought it was really cool. Of course, you can get it in any color and any pattern. And then I started to realize that it like holds the heat inside the car seat. So my baby would be sweating their butt off inside this little tiny car seat. And I felt so bad for them. So then I would take it off and then the sun would be in their face. It just was not a good thing, y'all. So instead of that, I recommend getting a muslin car seat cover. And the cool thing about this is that they have ones now that actually or on the car seat, they have the elastic that goes around the bottom base, so it's totally covering baby, but then it has snaps or a zipper down the middle. So if you need to check on baby, you can just unsnap a little bit or zip it up or unzip it and look at baby, make sure everything's okay, and then close it back up without having to pull up the bottom or pull down the top. And then of course that material is it's gonna let the air flow through. It's a lot breezier for baby. Now the only thing is it's not gonna be like a blackout kind of thing. And some babies like that. Some babies cannot sleep in a car seat. If you're out and about, you know, and they fall asleep in the car and you take them out, they may not stay asleep because it's too bright. But most babies are definitely not going to be able to stay asleep if it's too hot. So, and to me, that's just dangerous. Like, how do you know how hot it is in there? And it's just not good for baby. So I definitely recommend the muslin car seat cover. Number 40 and number 41 are for rash creams. And again, like I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of Hello Bello rash cream, diaper rash cream. That is like the one. And I've tried them all, y'all. I've tried Desitin, I've tried Boudreaux's, I've tried A&D, I've tried so many different ones. And Hello Bello is the only one so far that literally after the first application, no more rash. So I'm a huge fan of theirs. You definitely need some rash cream. You gotta have one of those. And just like the shampoo and lotion, I would only put 1 tube of rash cream on your registry if you are gonna put one on there, just because you don't know how many times you're gonna use it and you don't want it to go bad. You don't wanna have like 5 bottles and you only needed 1 tube and you have 4 tubes left and now they're all gone bad because you didn't need to use them. So you'll need one at a time. And then number 41 is this thing called a Bumco. The Bumco is the rash cream applier. So it looks like a spatula. And that way you put the cream on it and then you take it and you rub it on baby's butt. Super easy, super simple. You'd think, why doesn't anybody think of this thing sooner? I don't know. Why didn't I think of this thing? Like, hello. And especially if you're a mama with nails, and I've always had nails, of course, these are grown out and I need to get them done. I always get rash cream in my nails, and even when I didn't have nails, I would get rash cream in my nails, and it's so annoying because then after, especially if you have to apply it different times, then you have to use a wipe to clean it off, then you gotta go wash your hands, you gotta get under the nail. It's just, ugh, it's gross. So the Bumco really comes in handy. And when they're newborns, they do get quite a few rashes because their body and their skin is still getting used to everything outside of your tummy. So definitely have some rash cream on hand and the Bumco. It's just way easier to put that stuff on baby without having to get it all over you. Number 42 and number 43 have to do with food, and this means food for you, for mama and daddy. So they have this thing called a food train, and you can set it up. You can put in there, you know, different restaurants that you like, what types of food you like, and then even from certain restaurants, what are the items that you would go for normally. And then other people can get on there and they can order food from different places for you for those first 2 weeks that you're home with newborn baby, because you're both going to be exhausted. You're both trying to figure this new thing out, and you're not going to have time to make, you know, breakfast, lunch, dinner, all of that stuff. So people can actually order your food, exactly the stuff that you love, and have it sent to your door, delivered to your door, and ready to eat right away. That to me is like heaven sent when you're home with a newborn, because the last thing you want to do is make food, but all you can think about is food, especially if you're breastfeeding. You are going to be starving all the time. So to me, the food train is like a great idea. And then number 43 would be food gift cards. I would put this on my registry as well. So if people don't really understand the food train or they don't want to do that, they can at least just send you a food gift card. So it could be a specific gift card to like Olive Garden or Starbucks, for example, something like that. TGI Fridays or Chili's, you know, any of your favorite restaurants, you could put those on there, or just say, hey, we need food gift cards, and they could just send you, you know, a random Visa gift card to use on food or something like that. That would really, really help you out, especially, like I said, in those first couple weeks, even the first month of that baby's life that you're home with them. You're gonna need food, and it's a lot easier to get if you just order it online and have it delivered. Number 44, I should have had this with the first aid stuff, but it is a forehead thermometer. You are not gonna wanna use a thermometer that you have to stick up their butt or really any other type of thermometer. It's too much of a hassle on a little tiny thing that does not wanna sit still. So the forehead thermometer can be a little pricey, but it's gonna be way more handy to use, and it's something that you can use on them for the rest of their life until they're out of your house. You can use that thing and it will work. So I definitely recommend a forehead thermometer. Number 45 is really for like your baby shower. So instead of having people give you cards that they've written in, I always asked for people to give us books for the baby to build their little library, and then on the inside of the book write whatever they were going to write in the card anyways. So that way you have a book that you're going to keep forever, that the baby's gonna, well, the baby's not going to read it, but when they get older they can read the book, or you could read it to them, and you can read about the person that gave them the book and what they said about them, and it could be something sweet to them, to your son or daughter, or even just to you, talking about your pregnancy or any of that kind of stuff. I think that was like the greatest idea I've ever heard. I wish I would have done it with my first couple baby showers. I didn't, but I did do it with my daughter, and so her little library that she has in her room, all those books have people that have signed them on the inside and said some really sweet things about her. The last one on the list right now is number 46, and this is a car seat mirror. So, or a back seat mirror is what I call it. So obviously if you're driving around with baby, you cannot see them. You're gonna need to be able to look in the rearview mirror while you're driving to check on them. And the best thing to have is a mirror that tilts down towards baby. And again, these come in all kinds of shapes and sizes and colors and patterns and whatever. I always think the bigger the better, just because it's gonna cover more space of baby and it's easier to get them into, I guess, position, or get the mirror into that position to where you can really see them through your rear view mirror. So I definitely recommend that. These last few items are the big ticket items, and this means these are the items that are going to cost you the most money, or anybody else that wants to buy them for you. And you can totally put these on your registry if you know the exact type and brand that you want. I would not recommend, you know, for example, if it's a stroller, putting 5 different strollers on there and just hoping somebody picks one. Probably nobody is going to buy one because they don't know which one you want, and so they're just going to be like, well, I don't know, and then just never buy you one. So make sure you have picked out exactly the brand and the type that you want, and you have it on your registry ready to go. And if people want to pool their money together to buy you these big ticket items, that is awesome. But these are definitely the items that, if they do not get bought for you, do not buy them brand new. You can find these items almost brand new for a fraction of the price on Facebook Marketplace. I have bought tons of my stuff on there for my kids over the years. Things that I really, really wanted, but I knew I didn't want to spend, you know, $200, $300 on it. And I would find it on Facebook Marketplace for next to nothing. So definitely check out on there. OfferUp, Mercari, Let Go. There's so many different places that you can look up this stuff, and people are always selling it, especially the things that a newborn, if they're only going to use it the first year of their life, you got to think like 1 year. I mean, how much damage could a baby do in 1 year, you know, to one thing like a stroller or a high chair, whatever. So I'm just going to name these off. I'm not going to give y'all exact brands or anything. The first one is a stroller. And then the second one is going to be a car seat. Now, obviously you need a stroller and a car seat, but you can oftentimes find, you know, the duo package where they come together, which is great. And again, you can find these on Facebook Marketplace for next to nothing, almost brand new. So definitely make sure you check that out. And if you do find it on there, let your friends and family know and be like, hey, I found it on here. If you guys were really thinking about buying it, it's way cheaper. They would probably love that, you know? But I totally understand if you want something brand new, or if your family wants to buy you something brand new, that's awesome. If they want to put their money together, or if they want to spend the money on that, that's great. Next thing is a crib. You know, cribs are definitely something that you're going to need eventually. Most people don't use a crib right away. Your baby's probably not going to sleep in an actual crib until they're like 3 to 6 months old. So you may not need that crib right away, but if you want to have it on your registry, just in case somebody wants to order it for you, then definitely put it on there. Okay, the only swing I recommend is the Mama Roo, and that is because for me, every single one of my children has loved that thing. They have slept in it. It has been next to my bed. It is so compact. It does all the sounds. It does all the movements. I love that thing, and I have never bought one brand new. I found mine on a Facebook Marketplace, and then when I thought I was done having kids, I sold it, and then when I found out I was pregnant again, my friend gave me hers. So, I mean, you do not have to spend, you know, $200 on this thing. Now, there are people that don't like the Mama Roo, and that's fine, because again, every baby's different, every mama's different, everybody's different. So, if you're not quite sure, do your research, make sure you figure that out, because obviously you don't want to have like 3 different swings on your registry. But I definitely recommend the Mama Roo. The traditional swing, a lot of people love, and their babies may love that, but for me it's just so bulky and huge and just takes up too much space, and it's too hard to move around the house if I need to move it from room to room. So that's why I don't recommend that. Next thing would be a Moses basket. These things are great if you're just gonna carry baby around the house. If you need to move him from room to room and he's sleeping in it, it's a lot easier to carry a baby around in a Moses basket than it is if they're just sleeping somewhere and you have to pick them up. Obviously they're gonna wake up and you put your arms around them and you change their position and all of that. But Moses baskets can be pretty pricey. You can find some on Amazon for cheaper, brand new, but again, look on Facebook Marketplace. Now that's not really a necessity, a Moses basket. You don't really need that, but they're just become very popular. So if it's something that you really want, definitely put it on your registry if you know the exact brand you want or the look that you want and where you want it from. Next thing is going to be a crib mattress, because if you need a crib, then you're gonna need a crib mattress, obviously. I think it's called Newton Baby, is a newer mattress. It is definitely pricier, so it's on the higher end price range, but that thing, I would love to have one of those too for this baby, my next baby. I'm not having any more babies, guys. For this baby, when we get him a crib, because he's actually gonna be sleeping in our room for quite a while, mainly because we don't have another room to put him in. But until then, I would love to get this crib mattress because it's specifically made to have airflow through, so that if they ever were to fall asleep, you know, on their stomachs and their face gets smushed in there, the air can flow through and they can breathe through the mattress. And it really helps with SIDS or any other way the baby could stop breathing somehow. It really helps cut that down. So I definitely think if you need a crib mattress, that one is just the safest and the best way to go. Next thing is a high chair. Obviously you're gonna need a high chair. You probably aren't gonna need a high chair until your baby is 6 months old, again, because they're not gonna be eating solid foods until they're 6 months old. So you don't really need to put this on your registry, and I really think the IKEA high chair is, for one, way easier to clean. It's gonna make your life so much easier. It's super sleek looking. I just love the way it looks, and the price is only $20. So technically with that price, it's not a high ticket item, but usually they are, because most other high chairs are super expensive. But this IKEA high chair is super popular, and I know why, because that thing is so cute. I really like it. I'm actually probably gonna get one for this baby because I'm gonna have 2 in high chairs once he's ready to eat solids. So I'm gonna need 2 high chairs, and I only have 1 right now. So I definitely probably gonna get this one. Plus it's only 20 bucks, y'all. Like, ugh, how cool is that? The only thing I'm gonna do different is the legs are just metal, and I think I'm gonna order like the vinyl wrapping that looks like wood, and just wrap the legs so that they look like wood legs. But other than that, super cheap, y'all. I love that. Okay, the last thing is a glider. I don't think you need one of these, but at the same time, some people love them. So gliders can also be very expensive. I had one with my first baby, and we kind of used it. We didn't really use it that much. It was actually just too bulky for me. And then after that, all I used was just a plain old rocking chair. And I literally mean old as in I went to an antique shop and bought a rocking chair and I repainted it. And then I just put like a cushion on it and some pillows. And I love that thing. And we actually have two, because one is a hand-me-down from when I was born and my mom was young, so it's kind of like a family thing. And then the other one is the one that I got from the antique shop. So we have one in the living room and we have one in my daughter's room. So depending on where we're at, we can always rock baby in the rocking chair, put blankets and pillows around you. For one, it goes with the aesthetic in my house because it is more of like a farmhouse rustic look with the decor, except for in this room. In this room, we're changing it up. But other than that, it's definitely more of the rustic look. So the rocking chair does great in my house and it works just fine. But if you do want a glider, put it on there. Again, make sure you're only picking one and you do your research. All right, y'all, that concludes my baby registry checklist and my baby registry must-haves. If you guys have any questions, please let me know down below. Don't forget, I will have all of this stuff written out in the description box down below. So if you need to write this list down or take a screenshot of it, you will be able to, no big deal. But again, if you have any questions, I'm always here to help y'all out, especially you first-time mamas, or if you have already had kids like I have and you think I missed something or I left something out, let me know down below. I would love to know also, because pregnancy brain, things happen, and I'm pregnant and I'm still trying to make sure that I have my list together. So let me know if I missed anything. Whew, now I need to catch my breath. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe if you're new. And I will see y'all on my next one. Bye.